Hello friends, in continuation with our video series covering computer network, so far in last 15 videos, we have discussed about basics of internet, layer protocols and application layer protocols. Now in this and succeeding videos, we will explore the transport layer in detail. The goal of these parts of session is to understand the basic principle of transport layer services like multiplexing, demultiplexing, reliable data transfer, flow control, conjunction control. We will also explore the Internet Transport Layer protocols like connectionless UDP and connection-oriented TCP protocol. Entire session covering the transport layer is logically divided into transport layer services, multiplexing and demultiplexing, connectionless transport protocol that is UDP, principle of reliable data transfer, connection-oriented transport protocol that is TCP, principle of conjunction control, TCP conjunction control mechanism, which we will cover in succeeding video sessions. However, in previous parts, we have touched upon the role of transport layer and the services provided by the transport layer. A transport layer protocol provides logical communication between application processes running on different hosts. By logical connection, we mean that from an application's perspective, it is as if the host running the processes were directly connected. In reality, the host may be on opposite side of the planet, connected via numerous routers and a wide range of link types. Application processes use the logical communication provided by the transport layer to send message to each other, free from the worry of the details of the physical infrastructure used to carry these messages. As shown, transport layer protocols are implemented in the end system but not in the network router. On the sending side, transport layer converts the application layer message it receives from sending application process into a transport layer packet known as transport layer segments in internet terminology. This is done by breaking the application messages into a smaller chunk and adding a transport layer header to each chunk to create a transport layer segment. The transport layer then passes these segments to the network layer at the sending end, where a segment is encapsulated within a network layer packet, typically a datagram, and sent to the destination. It is important to note that network router act only on the network layer fields of the datagram. That is, they do not examine the fields of transport layer segment encapsulated with that datagram. On the receiving side, network layer extracts the transport layer segment from the datagram and passes the segment up to the transport layer. Transport layer then processes the received segment, making the data in the segment available to the receiving application. More than one transport layer protocol may be available to network applications. For example, the internet has two protocols, TCP and UDP. Each of these protocols provide a different set of transport layer services to the invoking application. We will explore both TCP and UDP in detail in the succeeding lectures. Recall that transport layer lies just above the network layer in protocol stack. Transport layer protocol provides logical communication between processes running on different hosts, whereas network layer protocol provides logical communication between the hosts. To have a better understanding what exactly the role of transport layer and network layer, let us consider an example. Consider there are two hostels at two different cities, housing dozens of students at each, and those students happens to be a friend of each other. These friends residing at two distinct locations used to write letters to each other individually every week, which are delivered by traditional postal service in a separate envelope as usual. Again, at each hostel, experienced hostel attendant used to collect the outbound letters from individual for handing it to a postal service carrier for delivery at other end and distribute the inbound letters brought by postal service carrier among the hostel inmates. Here, the postal service provides logical communication between two hostels. The postal service moves, that is physically move mail from one hostel to other, not from person to person. On the other hand, hostel attendant at each hostel provides logical communication among the friends by picking up mail from and deliver mail to their friends. From hostel inmates' perspective, hostel attendant are the mail service, even though they are only a part, that is a part of end system of the end-to-end process, delivery process. As in this case, work of the hostel attendant at each end is confined to hostel premises only, and they are not involved for any physical movement in between, or like in sorting the mail at any intermediate mail centers or in moving mail from one center to another. Similarly, transport layer protocol, which resides in the end system, within an end system, a transport protocol moves message from application process to the network edge, that is the network layer, and vice versa. But it does not have any say about how those messages are moved within the network core. As in case of our snail mail, here the postal delivery person, postal serviceman, is responsible for physical movement of the mail in between, as against the hostel attendant, one who is responsible for handing over the mail, and the area is confined at hostel premises only. The level of services offered by the hostel attendant vary from person to person. Suppose due to some reason, these experienced attendants were replaced by a newly inducted inexperienced helper. Then it may be the case that letter may get drop off or even lose or miss up. Similarly, a computer network may make available multiple transport protocols, with each protocol offering a different services to different applications. Here, the services provided by the attendants are clearly constrained by the possible services that the postal service provides. That is, postal service does not provide a maximum outbound on how long it takes to deliver mail between the two hostels. Here in this case, there is no way for attendant to guarantee a maximum delay for mail delivery because actual mail delivery is done by the postal service carrier. The overall service of efficient delivery of mail is fully dependent on the services provided by mail service carrier. In a similar manner, services that the transport protocol can provide are often constrained by the service model of the underlying network protocol. If the network layer protocols cannot provide delay or bandwidth guarantee for transport layer segments sent between the host, then transport layer protocol cannot provide delay or bandwidth guarantee for application messages sent between the processes. Here, for analogy purpose, we can treat the hostel attendants are playing the role of transport layer, and the actual postal delivery courier person may provide the services of either network layer or data link layer or physical layer or combined. For analogy purpose, here host is equivalent to our hostel. Processes are equivalent to our inmates. Application messages are equivalent to letters in the envelope. Transport protocol is nothing but the attendant who demux or mux to hostel inmates. We will see the multiplexing and demultiplexing in detail. And network layer protocols is nothing but postal service. There are certain services which can be offered by transport layer protocol even when the underlying network protocol does not offer the corresponding services at network layer. For example, a transport layer protocol can offer reliable data transfer services to an application even when the underlying network protocol is unreliable, which may lose the packets or grabble the packets or duplicate the packets. A transport protocol can use encryption to guarantee that application messages are not read by the intruder, even when the network layer cannot guarantee the confidentiality of transport layer segments. As we know, TCP/IP network generally makes two distinct transport layer protocols available for application layer. One, UDP, that is User Datagram Protocol, which provides an unreliable connectionless services to the invoking application. Second, TCP, that is Transport Control Protocol, provides reliable connection-oriented services to the invoking application. As a network application developer, one has to specify one of these two transport layer protocols when creating a socket for communicating with host at other end by exchanging the message termed as segments for transport control protocol or datagram for UDP transport layer protocol. Though as per internet literature, which uses datagram for network layer packets, we will use the term segment for both TCP as well as UDP. Internet's network layer protocol has name IP for Internet Protocol, which provides logical communication between hosts. The IP service model is best effort delivery service that that is it makes best effort to deliver segments between communicating hosts, but it makes no guarantee. In particular, it does not guarantee segment delivery. It does not even guarantee orderly delivery of segment, or it does not even guarantee the integrity of data in the segment. For this reason, IP is said to be unreliable service. Most fundamental responsibility of UDP and TCP is to extend IP's delivery service between two end systems to deliver service between two processes running on end systems having unique IP address. Both UDP and TCP also provides integrity checking by including error detection field in their segment's header. These two minimal transport layer services, process to process data delivery and error checking, are the only two services that UDP provides. In particular, like IP, UDP is unreliable service. It does not guarantee that data sent by one process will arrive intact to the destination process. TCP, on the other hand, offers several additional services to the applications. First and the foremost, it provides reliable data transfer. Using flow control, sequence numbers, acknowledgements, and timers, TCP ensures that data is delivered from sending process to receiving process correctly and in order. Thus, TCP converts IP's unreliable service between end system into a reliable data transport service between processes. Though TCP is using the underlying unreliable services of IP at network level, but to the application, TCP provides reliable service. Except delay and bandwidth guarantee, TCP also provides conjunction control. Conjunction control is not so much a service provided to the invoking application as such, as it is a service for the internet as a whole. As TCP conjunction control prevents any one TCP connections from flooding the link and routers between communicating hosts with an excessive amount of traffic, and which enable other services or other processes to use the services of network efficiently. Thank you very much for listening to me till end.